Buff Metal back with another video. What is going on, guys? Today I come to you post margarita to talk about new death metal. I got a big stack of albums here. Basically, yeah, all these are things that are relatively new. I've talked about some of them before. Some of them I have not. And yeah, guys, before I get into the video, I just wanted to ask, do you guys know of any good horror books? You know, one of the reasons I went out for those margaritas is that it was near a Barnes & Noble. And I was in there looking around. You know what I didn't see? Good looking, just old school looking horror books like these. These are Brian Keene's The Rising series. And dude, you remember when like horror books really had this look to them that looked so like iconic and creepy and like, you know, then you read them and they're actually like pulpy, raunchy, nasty. I miss when books were like that, man. And maybe I'll do more book content in the future, but I just wanted to probe, see if you guys knew of anything that I should read that's kind of out there. Anyways, now without further ado, let's get into some modern death metal recs. So I was yesterday talking about, how basically that OSDM sound really never translated past the 90s and went away pretty fast after that. But dude, yeah, some of these bands kind of bring it back, but with modern flair. There's nothing that's ever going to recapture that. But dude, we're talking Autopsy here and Autopsy Worship, I thought this is a newer band that if you never heard of them might be worth checking out. I've had this on the shelves for years, and I always thought it was a cool piece, man. I never got rid of it. Yeah, and if you haven't heard of them, maybe this would be kind of a cool find for you. This is Depigis with Bushmeat. Yeah, baby. Yeah, dude. So I got this, I don't even know when, from Expansion Abyss, if you guys know of that label. I haven't gotten anything from them. I don't even know if I follow them on Instagram or anything anymore. But back in the day, I saw this came out, and this band was kind of making the rounds. Super, like, swampy, psychedelic death metal here in the vein of, like, Autopsy or something like that. And if you haven't heard of Depigis, man, dude, I think they're pretty cool. Not a lot of bands did it like this. Now, this isn't something that I reach for often. I haven't listened to it very much recently, but the point is I think it's cool. There's a reason why I never sold it or traded it for anything. And yeah, to this day, I think it's one of those rare pieces in my collection that, I don't spend much, but like, I kind of take pride in owning it. Check out, I love the center label there on the vinyl itself. Very cool. But yeah, dude, if you like that Autopsy Worship type stuff, but with a hint of like groove and psychedelia and whatever Depigis, whatever it is that this band does, I think you will, there's worse that you could do in the vein of Autopsy Worship than them. And yeah, dude, maybe I'm going to go spin this again because, like I said, it's been a while since I've listened to it. But if you're a fan of, like I said, everything I just mentioned, go check it out because I think it's pretty damn cool. And maybe if you know what's good, a little bit of that beforehand might take you a long way with this one. So Depigis with Bushmeat. Next up, let's talk about another band. Here's a hot. This is gonna be, people really hate these guys, but I'll say this. Maybe I don't like their other project anymore, but I still loved this one when it came out. Dude, let's talk about Spectral Voice, dude. Eroded Corridors of Unbeing. This is the dudes in Blood Incantation besides the drummer. The drummer is who does the vocals on this one. And, dude, I always thought this was a ripper of an album, dude. Real psychedelic. I even like the second album that they put out after this. I might even like it more, but this is a classic. Yeah, that 2010s death metal. I thought this was a really cool point. And this is, again, when I was getting into, like, more deep cuts and stuff like that. I was discovering Spectral Voice, so maybe I'll always be partial to records like this. But, dude, I don't know, man. I think this is awesome, dude. It's really like a slow burn kind of album. It's one of those, like, you're not really listening for songs, right? You're just putting it on. And I'd say Depigis is the same way, right? Both these albums, you're putting these on, and it's less about the song titles or whatever. You're just gonna let these run, and yeah, kind of have your way with them that way. And yeah, dude, I think it's really, I don't know, just a fun, cool, psychedelic album. And I think I'm noticing a theme amongst these is that they're very psychedelic. And this is doom, very much doom, death doom, which is a genre I generally hate. But in this specific scenario, I think Spectral Voice does it well, I think they really, I don't know, dude, they have that, like, what is it, that visceral, psychedelic, spacey, cavernous sound that, you know, all those kind of adjectives I now hate when I see in most bands, you know, if they describe themselves as such. But at the time when this came out, man, I don't think there was, you know, that much like it besides whatever they were inspired by. But I am lacking in knowledge in that. But regardless, man, really cool album. Spectral Voice. Go check out Eroded Corridors of Unbeing. Now let's get to some heavy shit, man. Let's talk about a band, you know, obviously, I think I brought these guys up before, but this is more death grind, you know, let's pick up the pace a bit. Dude, Incinerated, Eaten Raw. If you haven't heard this, dude, man, you are in for a treat. Alligator delicacies, you know, dude, look at that, just flesh being ripped from the swamp, you know, absolutely banging album, dude. Again, it's really tough. Just check out the song Table Manners. But yeah, man, it's tough with a death grind album. I never know what song's what, man. I just let these things play, and I have always had a good time listening to Incinerated. This is just heavy as hell. Yeah, dude, and like not really much else to say about it. I guess they consider themselves mortician worship or something like that. I always loved this insert too. Very cool stuff. This specific comp is made up of all these tapes here. And yeah, dude, I thought these guys were killer, man. And this is what you want when you listen to Death Grind. Because you know what I like about stuff like this, dude? It keeps you guessing. You know, as you're listening to it, you're like, damn. You know, constant groove switch-ups. And if they were anywhere near that, like, Mortician vein, I would say they have kind of a cool modern edge to it. I don't think they sound too much like Mortician, but they definitely have that, you know, that whatever that groove is, you know, that makes you want to just, like, I don't know, throw elbows or whatever in the pit. Now, next up, this is a fan favorite. Most of you guys probably know of this already, so nothing new here. Moulder, I even talked about these guys in yesterday's video. This is probably my favorite album from them, Catastrophic Reconfiguration. I'm bummed I never got the shirt. I saw people wearing the shirt at the first volume at Dead by Dog, and I was like, oh, I gotta grab that, but then I couldn't find them anywhere, and that was that. But yeah, dude, Moulder, absolutely killer stuff here, man. You know, dude, I love this album especially. And dude, this is Pulp's great song, Catastrophic Reconfiguration, the title track, awesome. Dude, like, you want to talk songs, man, Moulder's got songs for days, and that's very, very hard to come by in extreme metal these days. You know what I'm saying? Really great band cover here. This is just like modern classic stuff, you know what I mean? I think this will age very well through the years. We will fondly look back and fondle each of the members from Moulder for their, you know, their deeds on these Moulder albums, because goddamn, dude, they're rippers, man. They're a really good time. They're fun, goddamn it. Where's the fun? Some of these guys, and even though, you know, I was just saying I like the Death Doom albums that I brought out, some of these guys, man, you gotta have a little more fun with your death metal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, sometimes it feels like people take the shit too damn seriously, and one of the things I always liked was kind of the retardation of it all. You know what I'm saying? It all seemed just so ridiculous, and yeah, these guys kind of, to some extent, bring that. I love the vocals on this, Aaron Pankey's vocals. They're very, almost like, I want to say like Obituary, but I'm actually not a big Obituary fan. Regardless, man, it's like, kind of like a cross of some old Obituary, Autopsy, all that, man. You can find that in Moulder, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So if you haven't checked out them before, I would say check out Catastrophic Reconfiguration. Now, I might be a little stumped. You know what? Actually, we'll talk about this one next, because this is kind of more in the same vein. If you haven't heard of this band, goddamn, dude. Very much in the same vein as the other band I was just talking about. Who the fuck are Incinerated. Sorry, man. This is what I'm saying. I had some margaritas before this video, and now I'm all off my game. Let's talk about Hemorrhoid, baby. Yeah, dude, if you haven't heard this, goddamn, it's all... Well, I'm just gonna hold it like that, man. I've talked about this enough, man. People love this album. This was an instant cult classic, dude. Just sweet death grinds done right. Look at how beautiful this is too. I got the picture disc from, who was it? Yeah, Extremely Rotten and Head Split put this out. Absolutely killer. I got the picture disc. You know, I'm not a big picture disc guy a lot of the time, but yeah, man, I had to get it with this just because, again, it comes with a really nice outer sleeve like here. Then it has like a ton of bonus content. Fun fact, what I'll always remember about this is that I bought it on my honeymoon while I was away in California with that sweet, sweet wedding money. So it'd be waiting for me when I got back from Napa Valley. And there it was when I got home, and I was then happily married and life was good and happily ever after, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, Raw Materials to Decay, go check this out. I've talked about it before, so I don't need to beat that drum. Now, let's bust out some stuff. I keep doing this, man. One more modern band that I know for sure is modern. Actually, there's a couple more. Fuck it, dude. I'm rolling with it today. Can you dig it? All right, Pissgrave, baby. Man, when people don't bring up Pissgrave in the realm of modern bands, dude, like I'm always a little disappointed, you know, when people are like talking about best modern projects and stuff. Dude, I really do think Pissgrave, dude, you know, deserves to kind of come to the forefront of the conversation. They put out some absolutely mean stuff, dude, in the past, however long it's been since they've been releasing shit. But, dude, yeah, I remember when I first got all this, man, it was just like, holy balls. You know, I should have busted out their demo, which I also have on vinyl, the much sought after demo. But to be honest with you, man, like, I don't think I can show it. You know, it might be one of the most gruesome album covers I own. But, yeah, this one, Malignant Worthlessness. Actually, dude, people are calling the vocals on this Donald Duck vocals and whatnot. I'm a fan, man. I like it a lot. I thought this album was groovy as hell, catchy as hell, and evil and sinister as hell, too. So, ugh, margaritas. Anyways, Pissgrave, Malignant Worthlessness. All right, here we go. Another band, I'm not going to beat this too much. You know them. I just wanted to put them in the pile. Vulture, Tropical Sun, boom, love them. Talked about them a million times. If you haven't listened to this album, go check it out. The rest is pretty good, but nothing ever topped Tropical Sun. Go check it out. All right, one more. So here's a little bonus tidbit, a little bonus nugget that I'm going to throw in here. This is not death metal. This is actually thrash, and I've been listening to Riot City and some other like thrashy projects like this, so I just want to give a little shout out to Vulture. One of those random albums that I never really pull out too often, but still stoked to own it, kind of. This is the Guillotine. You know, when this album came out, a lot of buzz behind it, and I still like pulling it out on occasion, man. There's some really cool stuff on here. And again, dude, cool modern band, man. Really heavy, thrashy, reverby, you know, it's kind of out there. Sounds electric, you know. So, yeah, dude, if you haven't checked out The Guillotine by Vulture, they've come out with a bunch of albums since this, but I don't know if it's just because this is the first one I got, but this was the one I was always partial to. But it's one of those bands, man. It's like, well, I can't. All their albums kind of sound the same a little bit, and I don't know. You know what I'm fucking saying, man. I already talked about Vulture. Last album, here we go. I have no idea when this came out, and that's why I saved it for last. I just assumed it was recently, but then I was like, you know, I probably should have looked this up before the video. But one more for fans of Autopsy, man. If you haven't heard, and I've talked about this project before, one of the coolest things. Dude, Mental Funeral, baby. Look at that album cover, man. Just take a second and appreciate the artwork on there. Yeah, dude, fans of Autopsy, just straight up Autopsy worship, dude. Mental Funeral, obviously, band title and everything. Just 10 out of 10 stuff. The Sorrow of Winter, if that doesn't give it away, too. Twisted Mass of Burnt Decay. They do a cover of the Autopsy track on here. I love the song Grindfucker. Refried Virgins is awesome. And yeah, dude, check this out. 7 out of 54, baby. Sorry if you slept on this. Dude, sometimes I'm like, I see stuff that's like really cool out there, and I'm always like, man, no one's gonna grab that right now. You know, there's that. It's funny. There's like 100 of those splits with Eat the Decay and Sick Sinus Syndrome. There's like 100 of the Die Hard on Fuck Off and Die Records. Go on their Instagram. They hadn't sold out yet. I'm like, how is that possible, man? They're killer. How did that not sell out in 2 seconds? But regardless, man, losing the plot. Go check out Mental Funeral if you're a fan of Autopsy, man. This shit rips. I'm fucking done, dude.